One of the helpful things is, well, sometimes, these things really hit you. Difficult situations hit you, and you do need to grapple with your emotions and your psychology. And so if you're especially if you're like really low and really sad, sometimes it's like, okay, well, what's the one thing that I can do today to just move things forward a little bit?
You mentioned being stoic as a part of that, which is, I think, a requirement in certain situations in life. One of our mentors talks about it on the business front of, the only emotion that really belongs in business is excitement. How do you handle that on the business front?
Well, I'll be really honest. It's often not that simple, and sometimes it really takes clawing your way back into a better psychological frame. I've had times of absolute dismal despair and hopelessness. Anyone who has been in business has experienced this. And so, of course, the challenge is to build resilience in how you respond to these things. One of the helpful things is, well, sometimes, these things really hit you. Difficult situations hit you, and you do need to grapple with your emotions and your psychology, especially if you're like really low and really sad. Sometimes it's like, okay, well, what's the one thing that I can do today to just move things forward a little bit? It's amazing how much just writing down one or two things to do, like building a very, very basic plan of like, step one, I do this, step two, I do this today. If I do that, I've made some progress. That helps because a lot of the research on positive emotion shows that if you're moving towards a goal, not if you've obtained it, but if you're moving towards a goal, that's where you experience some of the biggest peak states of emotion in your life. And that business excitement that you're talking about there, that's something that I try and do. I try and get back towards a plan. Sometimes it's important to acknowledge, like, what is it that I'm feeling like? Yeah, there's a season for, right, I need to take these emotions, I need to put them to the side because they're actually not going to impact what the highest quality decision is going to be. But sometimes they do teach you about, if you are dissatisfied with something, maybe there's a good reason why you're feeling that. And that can be worthy of further contemplation. So you can think about that and think, well, what is this emotion teaching me? And again, that kind of like helps you to step back into more of an observer mode with the emotion and think, rather than just be thrown around by the emotions. And writing about that really helps.